Let me guess. Lately, it feels like stress is running the show, doesn't it? You're doing everything you can to stay on top of things, trying to control every outcome, every little variable. But no matter how hard you push, it feels like life keeps pushing back even harder. Sound familiar? Now let me ask you something important. What if the answer isn't to grip tighter, but to release your grip entirely? What if true strength doesn't come from control, but from surrender? That's what we're going to explore in this video. A simple but life-changing shift in perspective. How to manifest what your heart truly longs for, without draining your energy or spiraling into burnout. Yes, it can be done. And no, I'm not talking about wishful thinking or just sitting around waiting for the universe to magically hand you everything. This is about timeless wisdom rooted in Stoic philosophy. Powerful, practical guidance that teaches you how to loosen your grip on stress, take back control of your inner world, and begin attracting the life you've always envisioned. And here's the thing. It probably won't sound like what you were expecting, but that's exactly why it works. So let me ask you again, are you ready to unlock the power that's already sleeping inside you? Before we dive in, I want you to walk in someone else's shoes for just a moment. Let me tell you a story you might just see yourself in. Javier was the kind of person who had built a reputation around competence, a top executive, high-performing, always on. His calendar was a battlefield, filled with meetings, deadlines, and demands, and he seemed to thrive on it. At least that's what everyone thought. Then one day, in the middle of leading a crucial presentation, something happened. His body, without warning, refused to cooperate. He froze, couldn't move, couldn't speak. A panic attack ambushed him right there in the boardroom. Javier, known for always having the answer, felt completely helpless. And in that instant, a voice inside him cried out, "What am I even doing with my life?" On the advice of a close friend, Javier did something he never imagined. He unplugged. He disappeared into the mountains. No email, no calls, no screens, just nature and silence. At first, the anxiety didn't go away. His thoughts raced. What's happening at work? Are people talking? Am I falling behind? But slowly, something softened inside him. As he walked through the trees and felt the wind against his skin, a line from Marcus Aurelius echoed in his memory. "Accept whatever comes to you, woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" That was the moment everything clicked. He didn't need to control every little thing. He realized that sometimes stepping back is what allows life to move forward. When Javier returned to his fast-paced world, he didn't try to catch up. He didn't cram more into his days. Instead, he left breathing room, time for reflection, self-care, and presence with the people he loved. And you know what happened? Everything improved. Work became smoother, the team felt more cohesive, even productivity rose. But more than that, Javier finally felt peace inside, maybe for the first time in years. Now I have to ask you, how often do you feel like Javier? Holding on to a load you're too afraid to put down? Maybe today is the day to say, enough, and find out what unfolds when you allow calm to guide you instead. Ready to try? Let's begin. 1. Let go and relax. Picture this. You're standing on a beach scooping up a handful of sand. As you squeeze your fingers around it, trying to keep every grain in place, you realize something. The harder you hold on, the faster it slips away. Isn't that a lot like life? The more you fight to micromanage every moment, the more things seem to slip beyond your reach. You end up frustrated, exhausted, and further from the outcome you want. Let's be honest, clinging to control never really works, does it? It's like trying to drive with the handbrake on. The engine revs, the fuel burns, but you go nowhere. You wear yourself out trying to force progress. But now imagine releasing that brake, just letting go. Suddenly, with less effort, you're actually moving forward. That's what we're talking about here. Letting go isn't giving up. It's allowing things to move in the direction they're meant to go without your constant interference. Let's bring this to life with an everyday example. You've meticulously planned a family trip. Every detail scheduled to the minute. Departure times, restaurant stops, even games for the kids. But the universe has other plans. The highway is jammed, rain starts pouring, and the kids? They're in meltdown mode. Do you explode in frustration? Or do you choose acceptance, realizing that some things are simply outside your control? That, right there, is the Stoic mindset in action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." He's not just preaching passivity, he's teaching us to stop wasting precious energy pushing against what we cannot change. When you let go, you begin to glide through life rather than wrestle with it. So how do you actually practice this? Let me walk you through 3 powerful, simple steps you can begin using today. Step 1, the release ritual. Grab a sheet of paper. Write down your biggest current worry or stressor. It can be messy or vague. Just put it on paper. Something like, "I'm trying to control this, but I know I can't." Then crumple it and throw it away. It may sound symbolic, and it is, but don't underestimate what symbols can do for the mind. You're telling your brain, "This burden no longer owns me." Step 2, the red light. Pause next time life throws a curveball, a delay, a disagreement, a small disaster. Take a red light moment. Literally, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Just that. In that pause, you reclaim clarity. You return to yourself. Step 3, schedule nothing. Set aside 15 minutes today with no agenda. No to-do list. Just be. Listen to a song. Stare at the sky. Sip your coffee without a phone in hand. In that space of stillness, your truest thoughts and desires rise to the surface. And this, my friend, is where manifestation begins. Not in effortful struggle, but in calm awareness. You don't attract what you chase, you attract what you are. So here's the deeper truth. When you release control, life doesn't unravel. It actually begins to align. That's not magic. That's clarity. It's the natural result of shifting your focus from controlling the uncontrollable to mastering your inner response. So let me ask you again. What if today you let go of just one thing? Just one thought, one expectation, one plan? What if you stopped clenching the sand and started trusting the tide? Real change begins the moment you loosen your grip. 2, the power of calm. You might not solve every piece of the puzzle in one sitting, but something even more important begins to happen. That overwhelming chaos in your mind, it starts to fade. Just by organizing your thoughts, even a little, you begin to breathe easier. You feel like you're finally gaining traction on a problem that once felt completely unmanageable. Feels worth a try, doesn't it? Because when your mind finds stillness, not only do you feel more grounded, but doors begin to open. Doors to ideas, clarity, and desires that once felt out of reach. A calm mind has the extraordinary ability to attract exactly what aligns with your deepest goals. So maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop trying to command every detail and start placing trust in the quiet strength you've carried within all along. Have you noticed how rushing through life is like trying to cook with a scorching pan, but no oil? It burns through everything: your energy, your patience, your joy. And worst of all, things rarely turn out the way you imagine. Here's the truth that few talk about. Calmness isn't the same as slowness. It's intelligence. It's intentional movement. It's knowing the right rhythm for every task so that things flow instead of fracture. Picture this. You're preparing dinner for close friends. Everything's planned, but you're running late. You start frantically chopping veggies, some too big, others too thin. Sauce boils over. The pasta gets mushy. And when you finally plate the dish, it looks and tastes nothing like what you pictured. Sound familiar? Now imagine a different scene. You take your time. You cut ingredients with care, immerse yourself in the aroma of simmering sauce, and taste as you go. The pasta, perfectly al dente, and more than the meal. You enjoyed every step of making it. Coincidence? Not at all. Rushing doesn't just spoil food. It ruins experiences, moments, and sometimes even your peace of mind. So why do we rush? Often it's because we're watching others move at breakneck speed, achieving, producing, posting, and we feel like we're falling behind. But here's a reminder you need. Every person has their own pace. Comparing yours to someone else's is like shouting at a seed to grow faster. It doesn't work, and it never will. Marcus Aurelius understood this intimately. He once said, The mind is like water. When it is calm, it reflects everything clearly. As emperor, he carried the weight of an empire, but he didn't let it crush him. He paused, he reflected, he prioritized. In the face of storms, he responded not with panic, but with poise. That's what true power looks like. I get it. Slowing down can feel counterintuitive when the world seems to be spinning faster by the minute. But what if those small pauses are actually what allow the pieces to start aligning? Try this. Before beginning any task, stop for just 2 minutes. Take a breath and ask yourself, what's the one thing that really matters right now? Mentally sketch out your approach, like organizing a cluttered desk. That single moment of clarity can change how the whole task unfolds. And please, stop glorifying multitasking. I know it feels productive, but in reality, it dilutes your focus and diminishes your results. You're not truly present for any of the things you're doing. So what's the smarter move? Focus on one task, one seed, nurture it, water it, watch it grow. Then, when it's complete, move on to the next. You'll find yourself getting more done and doing it with excellence. Because when you bring calmness into your actions, you don't just get clarity, you create space. Space for your intentions to take shape. Space for your desires to move closer. Ralph Waldo Emerson said it beautifully. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Calm isn't just about getting better outcomes. It's about fully embracing the journey along the way. So imagine this. What if instead of racing through every hour, you walked calmly, mindfully, savoring the process? Regardless of your to-do list, if you choose presence over pressure, everything starts to move in harmony. And the best part? You'll feel more in control, more aligned with the life you're building. Because calmness isn't the absence of action, it's the foundation where your deepest intentions can finally take form. Now picture this. Someone hands you a box and says, inside is everything you've ever needed to change your life. You open it, expecting a secret tool or magic item, only to find a mirror. At first, confusion. Is this a joke? But then, clarity. The realization hits. You don't need more. You simply need to see differently. Most of us are so consumed by what we don't have that we miss the beauty of what's already right in front of us. Here's the hidden truth. When you begin to appreciate the now, something miraculous happens. Stress begins to melt. Life feels lighter. And almost like magic, the things you once chased start flowing in your direction. Let me tell you a story that captures this perfectly. There once was a farmer who, like many of us, could only see what he lacked. Every day he groaned about his cramped house. No space, no peace, no rest. If only I had more, life would be better. Desperate, he sought advice from the village wise man. The wise man listened patiently and said, "Bring your chickens into your home." Puzzled but obedient, the farmer did so. The next day he returned even more agitated. "Now it's worse. There's no room at all." The wise man nodded and said, "Now bring in your pig." By day 3, the farmer was livid. "This is chaos. I can't breathe in there." Finally, the wise man said, "Now take them all out." When the farmer returned home, he was shocked. Suddenly, his once cramped house felt spacious and calm. Nothing had changed except his perspective. Do you see the lesson? Gratitude doesn't alter your circumstances. It changes how you experience them. And that shift, however subtle, can reveal opportunities and blessings you previously overlooked. Psychologist Robert Emmons found that practicing gratitude doesn't just boost happiness. It primes your mind to recognize solutions where you once saw problems. It tunes your brain to notice the good, and in doing so, it sets you up to receive more of it. It's not magic, it's alignment. And here's the best part, you already have the tool you need. Gratitude isn't something external, it's always been in your hands. The Stoics lived this principle daily. Seneca once said, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." They gave thanks for the little things, simple meals, fresh air, a kind word, because they understood that what you focus on multiplies. And when you start focusing on what's good, you stop wasting energy on what's missing. So how do you make gratitude part of your life? Not with robotic lists of 3 things a day. Let's go deeper. Once a week, carve out time to sit in stillness. Grab a notebook. Write down 3 things you're deeply thankful for. But don't stop there. Ask yourself, how have these things moved me closer to what I want? Maybe a conversation sparked a new idea. Maybe a hardship revealed your strength. Maybe someone's kindness reminded you of your worth. That simple reflection doesn't just help you unwind, it tunes your mind to what truly matters. And over time, the more you give attention to what's working, the more effortlessly your desires begin to show up. So let me ask you, what are you grateful for today? Go ahead, drop it in the comments. That one gesture might just be the first step in manifesting the life you've been dreaming of. Because when you're truly grateful, you're telling the universe, I'm ready to receive more. 3. Disconnect from the noise. Have you ever tried to enjoy your favorite song while standing in the middle of a chaotic street? Sirens blaring, horns honking, people shouting. No matter how amazing the track is, the noise overwhelms it. That's how most of us live today. Ping after ping, scroll after scroll, notifications, updates, endless chatter, and we wonder why we can't hear ourselves think. Let me ask you this. How can you possibly figure out what you truly want, what you're meant to do, if your mind is never still long enough to listen? All that noise, it's not just loud, it's draining. It clutters your focus with things that don't move you an inch closer to your dreams. Each headline, each scroll, each comparison is like smudging the glass you're trying to see through. But silence? That's like wiping the window clean. Take just one moment to unplug, to step away from the noise, and suddenly you start to see clearly. Your thoughts, your dreams, your ideas, they've been there the whole time, just buried under layers of distraction. Epictetus once said, "The free man is he who lives as he wishes and is not afraid to go to the end of his own thoughts." But you can't get there if the volume is always turned up. Silence is where ideas are born. It's where focus lives. It's the soil where intention can take root and grow. So let me ask, how often do you feel mentally fogged, pulled in every direction, unable to concentrate? You're not alone, and you're not broken. You're just surrounded by too much. So here's a challenge. Try a no notification day, not a total digital detox. Just set limits. Check your messages only at specific times. Say once in the morning, once in the evening. The rest of the day? Let silence take the wheel. You'll be amazed at how much mental bandwidth you recover. Want to take it further? Step outside. Find a quiet park or just sit in your backyard. No phone, no earbuds. Just listen to birds, to wind, to yourself. It doesn't have to be long. 10 minutes can reset your whole system. Because when you extinguish the noise like a firefighter calming a blaze, you expose the calm beneath. And it's there, in that rare, undisturbed quiet, that you'll find the clarity to manifest what you truly want. 4. The Stoic power of rest. Your brain enters a deep cleaning mode while you rest. Did you know that during sleep, a tiny, tireless cleaning crew works overtime inside your head? It's true. Research from the Center for Neuroscience at the University of Rochester reveals that your brain actively removes toxins that accumulate throughout the day. It's like sweeping away the clutter of worries and stress, leaving your mind fresh and prepared for a brand new start. When you sleep well, you wake up feeling as though you've hit a reset button, clear-headed, focused, and ready to tackle what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius, the great emperor, understood this perfectly. He said, "Even the soul needs rest to be effective." Despite the enormous weight of responsibility on his shoulders, he knew he couldn't perform at his best without allowing himself time to recover. For him, rest wasn't a luxury or an afterthought. It was a deliberate strategy. Each evening, he would reflect and deliberately disconnect from the pressures of leadership. If an emperor could prioritize rest amidst his burdens, surely you can find moments for it too. I know what you might be thinking. Resting sounds wonderful, but with work, family, and worries pulling you every which way, how am I supposed to make it happen? Don't worry, I have a simple, practical nighttime ritual you can start tonight to turn rest from an idea into a reality. First, turn off all screens at least 30 minutes before bedtime. Yes, that means even your phone. Instead, reach for a book, something gentle and calming, like a light novel or an inspiring story that won't overstimulate your mind. Second, write down your intentions for the next day in a notebook. For example, tomorrow I'll dedicate an hour to that project I'm passionate about, or I will truly listen in every conversation. This practice not only helps relax your mind, but also aligns it with your goals. Finally, spend 5 minutes lying in bed, breathing deeply and slowly. Nothing complicated, just inhale and exhale with intention, allowing yourself to settle into peace. So next time you think of sleep as just a basic necessity, remember this. Even the brightest stars need darkness to shine, and you are no exception. 5. Embrace your failures. My friend, let me share something you might not want to hear, but it's essential. Failure is inevitable. Think of your failures as the first brushstrokes on a blank canvas. At first, they may seem like meaningless smudges, but with each additional stroke, a beautiful picture begins to emerge. And here's the good news. Failure isn't the end of the world. It's just the start of something far better. Did you know many of the greatest inventions in history came from mistakes? Take the story of one invention you likely use every day. In the 1970s, a scientist named Spencer Silver was trying to develop a super strong adhesive for his company, 3M. But instead, he accidentally created the exact opposite, a weak adhesive that barely stuck to anything. What seemed like a failure was shelved for years, until his colleague, Art Fry, had a brilliant idea: to use that weak adhesive to make notes that stick and peel off easily without leaving residue. The result? The Post-it. Yes, that Post-it, so indispensable for organizing our lives, was born from what looked like a failure. See where I'm going with this? It's not about avoiding failure, it's about how you respond to it. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your mistakes don't define who you are, but they can shape where you're headed if you use them as tools. Failures can feel like towering walls, but they are actually doors waiting to be opened. How do you open them? The first and most important step is to be gentle with yourself. We often demand perfection and, as a result, view our mistakes in a distorted, overly harsh way. Think about how many opportunities you've missed because you feared failing. When you allow yourself to fail, you also allow yourself to learn. It's like rehearsing. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time, because every attempt brings you closer to your goal. Second, use your failures as a staircase. Every failure is a step that can lift you higher, but only if you choose to climb it. Did you mess something up? Great. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What will I do differently next time? Each lesson makes you stronger, wiser, and better prepared for the journey ahead. Remember, it's a process, and every step counts. Finally, focus on the present moment. Too often, we get stuck reliving past mistakes as if they are chains holding us back. But here's the truth. What you did yesterday doesn't define what you'll do today. You have new tools, fresh knowledge, and a new chance right in front of you. Ask yourself, what can I do today to show myself I've grown? With each new attempt, you're building something better. Do you see how it all starts to come together when you change your relationship with failure? It's not about erasing your mistakes. It's about using them to your advantage. When you do this, something interesting happens. You relax. The constant pressure to be perfect fades away. In that calm state, things start flowing naturally. The path that once seemed blocked by obstacles begins to clear. And the more relaxed you become, the easier it is to attract what you truly desire. Failures aren't endings. They're the sparks that ignite new beginnings. So, what masterpiece could you create if you stopped fearing those first strokes? Embrace your failures, because each one is a vital step toward the full picture of the life you're meant to create. 6. Imagine it and make it real. Now close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself in a movie theater. The lights dim, the projector hums to life, and suddenly something appears on the screen. It's you. You're the main character in the film. But this isn't just any movie. It's the story of your life, exactly as you've always dreamed it. Everything is there. Your goals achieved, the people who inspire you, the moments that make your heart race. You can see every detail clearly, as if it's already happening. Now here's the big question, my friend. What would this movie look like if you were the director? Visualization isn't just a pleasant daydream, it's a powerful tool. It's like writing the script for your life's movie before the cameras even start rolling. When you take time to vividly imagine what you want, you're not simply dreaming, you're training your mind to turn it into reality. Everything you build on the outside starts within. Think about it. If you don't have a clear idea of where you want to go, how can you expect to get there? As Seneca said, no wind is favorable for the sailor who doesn't know where he's going. You need a direction, a clear vision to guide your steps. But here's the secret. It's not enough to just picture it. You have to feel it as if it's already happening. That's the magic of this practice. It helps you relax, align with your deepest desires, and move toward them with confidence. Did you know your brain can't really tell the difference between something you vividly imagine and something that actually occurs? Psychologist and author Joe Dispenza explains that when you visualize in detail, your mind interprets it as reality. It's like creating an invisible blueprint for what you want to build. And this changes everything. Your energy shifts, your decisions adjust, even the opportunities that come your way start to align with that vision. It's like tuning a musical instrument. Suddenly, everything starts to sound just right. I'm sure this has sparked your curiosity and you're ready to try it. So how can you make visualization part of your daily life? First, spend 5 minutes each day closing your eyes and imagining your goal in vivid detail. Don't just picture it, live it in your mind. For example, if your goal is to write a book, see yourself sitting at your desk, typing the final page, seeing your name on the cover, and holding the finished book in your hands. How does it feel? What emotions run through you? When you do this, your brain begins acting as if it's already real. Next, write your goals down as if you've already achieved them. This isn't a to-do list, it's a declaration. Instead of, I want to start my own business, write, I have a successful business doing what I love. Fill it with details, what your daily routine looks like, what impact you're making. Here's one more tip. Make this process relaxing. Don't treat it as another item on your to-do list. See it as a moment to enjoy. Play some soft music, find a quiet space, and let yourself dream. Because dreaming isn't wasting time. It's giving your mind the direction it needs to start building what you truly desire. Everything begins in your mind. When you imagine with clarity, you take the first step toward turning those dreams into reality. It's not just dreaming, it's using your dreams as a compass to guide your actions. So what are you waiting for? Start visualizing, start believing, and start shaping the life you've always wanted. And remember this, your best is still ahead. 7. Trust in what's coming. Imagine you have a small garden where you decide to plant carrots. You prepare the soil, plant the seeds, and water them every day. During the first week, you check the soil with excitement, hoping to see green sprouts. But nothing appears. Am I doing something wrong? You wonder as you carefully examine the dirt. You keep watering patiently, but another week passes and still nothing. Frustration creeps in. Is there something wrong with the seeds? Am I not watering enough? What you don't see is happening underground. The roots are hard at work, growing and preparing to break through the surface. From above, it looks like nothing is happening, and that can drive anyone crazy. But don't give up. All that effort is bearing fruit, even if you can't see it yet. And when those first shoots finally appear, it will all have been worth it. Because my friend, carrots aren't in a hurry. But when they come strong, steady, and exactly as you imagined. Do you see? The same thing happens when you're trying to manifest what you truly desire. Even if it seems like nothing is changing, everything is moving in the right direction. Your intentions, your efforts, even your energy, they're all paving a path you just can't see yet. And when you least expect it, the results will arrive. Let's be honest. No one likes to wait. But what if I told you patience isn't just about sitting still? It's about believing that while you do your part, the universe is doing its part too. As Marcus Aurelius said, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Think of a river. No matter how many twists, turns, or obstacles it encounters, it never stops. It always finds its way to the ocean. Now imagine you're in a tough spot. You've decided your life needs a radical change. You quit your office job, sell everything you don't need, and set out to travel the world. It sounds exciting, right? But here comes reality. The first few weeks are a disaster. Your savings vanish faster than expected. The jobs you hope to find aren't there. You start questioning if you've made a huge mistake. You try to control everything, obsessing over immediate solutions. But then you remember you need to trust what's coming. You begin applying what you've learned. You relax, write down your intentions, visualize clearly what you want, and let go of some control. Then unexpectedly, in a casual conversation, someone mentions an opportunity, a work exchange program where you can stay with hosts while traveling. This is exactly what I needed, you say, jumping with joy. But do you see? You wouldn't have found this opportunity if you hadn't let your guard down and trusted in what was coming. My friend, trust doesn't mean folding your arms and waiting. You have to keep working, but also relax and manifest everything you desire with calm confidence. And when doubts creep in, because they will, remind yourself, I'm doing my part. The rest will come in its time. Write this down if you need to. Somewhere you'll see it every day. It's a reminder that you are not alone in this process. Never forget, trust in what's coming. Because while you're planting the seed, life is already working to make it grow. And when you least expect it, you'll be surprised by the fruits you never imagined would come. I invite you now to embrace everything we've explored today. Let every pause, every visualization, every act of letting go and trusting be a step closer to what you truly desire. Remember, every step you take, no matter how small, has a purpose. In that calm and trust, there is no emptiness, only endless possibility. That's where your dreams are born and where they begin to take shape in reality. If you've made it this far, write in the comments, I relax and attract what I desire. That way, I'll know who the true Stoic warriors are, those who made it to the end. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a like so you don't miss what's coming next. I also invite you to check out our playlist, which you'll see on the screen. It's packed with ideas, stories, and advice to help you navigate life with more wisdom and confidence. Click it and let's keep moving forward together. Until next time, take care and keep embracing your inner Stoic. If you found value in this, consider sharing it with someone who could benefit. And don't forget, a simple like goes a long way in spreading Stoic wisdom. For more insights on philosophy, personal growth, and the art of clear thinking, subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay strong, stay mindful, and above all, stay Stoic. See you in the next video.